Dragon Skyplander. Hey, it's Casual Jake with the Elder Dragon Skyplanders, and we have some exciting news for you today. We are participating in a deck construction and EDH face-off hosted by our good friends, the Canada Geeks, in what has become known as the Mega Bowl. This event is going to feature Elder Dragon Skyplander, the Canada Geeks, Into the 99, and Cardboard Command. Each group was assigned 3 random commanders to build around, and we need you to help us decide which one we will build and which one we will be giving away. That's right, after we build and play these decks on stream, we're going to give all of them away, so make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube and follow all of our other social media accounts that are linked in the description so that you can keep up to date on the event itself and how to win those. So let's get into the commanders now, and I'm going to head over to Andrew, who will introduce our first commander candidate.
What's up, y'all? It's Andrew, and I'm here to give you a quick deck tech on my Mega Bowl deck pick, Kambal, Console of Allocation. Kambal is 1 white and black for a 2/3 legendary creature human advisor that has, whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, that player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. For this build, we are really trying to make everything our opponents do cost them something or gain us something. We want to slow down our opponents and win the game by draining the life out of everyone else. I've divided our strategy into 3 parts. Part 1, pump the brakes. Part 2, can't touch this. And Part 3, gain and drain. In Part 1, pump the brakes, we're planning on slowing down our opponents by making them either pay more for their spells or have their permanents come in tapped. Thalia, Guardian of Threven, and Vryn Wingmare both increase the casting cost of non-creature spells by 1, while God Pharaoh's statue increases all opponent spells by 2. Aura of Silence increases artifacts and enchantments by 2 and has the added benefit of being an instant speed removal spell for artifacts and enchantments. Authority of Consuls and Imposing Sovereign both tap our opponent's creatures when they enter the battlefield, while Blind Obedience, Kismet, and Thalia Heretic Cathar will make enchantments, artifacts, and even lands enter tapped. Having multiple of these effects out early can stack up quickly and grind your opponents to a halt. Slowing your opponents down like we did in Part 1 will likely make us enemies at the table and earn us some crackback. In Part 2, can't touch this, we attempt to protect ourselves by making it difficult to attack us. Baird, Steward of Argiv, and Ghostly Prison will make opponents pay 1 and 2 mana respectively per attacker. Norn's Annex will make them pay either white mana or life, and Revenge of Raymonds will drain them for 1 and we will gain 1 per attacker. When these are on the field, we can definitely take advantage of the life they lose and or the life we gain. I saved Gain and Drain for Part 3 because it's definitely the focus of our deck. The main way we're going to start draining our opponents is with the Extort mechanic. This mechanic says, whenever you cast a spell, you may pay white or black hybrid. If you do, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain that much life. We have 6 permanents that come in with Extort, including Blind Obedience and Cryptghast. Cryptghast is especially good because it's going to double the mana our swamps tap for. We can pay this Extort cost for any number of permanents with Extort, which will be an awesome mana sink and can stack up really quick. Next, we have a lot of ways to either gain life, drain life, or both when creatures enter the battlefield or die. Bloodseeker and Isolation Cell will drain opponents when they cast creature spells. Soul Warden will gain us life whenever a creature enters the battlefield, and Ashes of the Abhorrent will gain us 1 life whenever a creature dies. Sir Conrad will drain our opponents when creatures enter or exit the battlefield, and finally, Blood Artist will hit 1 opponent and will gain us 1 life per death trigger. With all this life gain, we need ways to take advantage of it. Felidar Sovereign will just let us outright win the game if our opponents can't remove it or get us below 40 life. Defiant Bloodlord, Sanguine Bond, and Vito Thorn of the Dusk Rose will all drain opponents for the amount that we gain, and Viscopa Guildmage has the mana sink ability to give us the same effect. Overall, I think this deck has the ability to knock out our opponents quickly and keep us safe from crackbacks. I think it would be a fantastic choice for the Mega Bowl, and if you think so too, head over to our voting link and choose Kambal.
Hey, it's Casual Jake, and I'm here to introduce Dalakos, Crafter of Wonders. Dalakos is a 2/4 Merfolk Artificer for 1, a blue, and a red. You can tap him to add 2 mana to spend on casting or activating our artifacts, and he gives each of our equipped creatures flying and haste. I was super excited to get to build around this deck, and I hope that you are excited about it as well. So for this deck, we are going to want to ramp out, cast creatures that care about equipment, and suit them up for battle. We run standard ramp in Soul Ring, Commander Sphere, Izzet Signet, and of course our commander, just to name a few. As far as creatures, some key ones include Champion of Flames, who has trample and gets +2/+2 for each equipment attached to them. Kazul's Toll Collector gets a free equip each turn cycle. Valduk, Keeper of the Flame, makes a 3/1 token with haste for each equipment attached to him, and even though they're going to get exiled at the end of turn, they are going to be packing a major punch. We also play Trinket Mage, Tribute Mage, and Trophy Mage so that we can tutor up the perfect equipment for each situation. Let's go again, the perfect chef's kiss. Mwah. And before we finish, let me tell you about the equipment. We run a few 0 equip cost or similar effects with Shuko, Storm Rider Rig, and Sai of Shinobi. Then we have Bloodforged Battle Axe, which is going to make a copy of itself when its equipped creature deals combat damage. And we also play equipments that utilize the Living Weapon ability, which make a 0/0 germ, and then the equipment instantly attaches to them, which is going to give us free hasty flyers. It's awesome. I love this build. These cards include Bone Horde, Flayer Husk, and Scythe Claw, which when it hits, cuts our opponent's life total in half. Jeez, it's just a great, awesome, hasty, deals so much damage. Dalakos is a super fun and janky deck that lets us play equipment we normally wouldn't put into our deck, and I hope that you consider voting for him.
Hey, this is Zach, one of your Elder Dragons, and I'm brewing Ishkanah Graph Widow. Ishkanah is 4 and a green for a 3/5 spider with Reach and Delirium. When Ishkanah enters the battlefield, if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, put 3 1/2 green spider creature tokens with Reach onto the battlefield, and you can pay 6 and a black to have your target opponent lose 1 life for each spider you control. This deck will aim to flood the battlefield with as many spiders as possible to win through either combat damage or by using our commander's ability to drain out our opponents. Since the deck cares about having cards in the graveyard, we will also be able to run some spells to help fill it. Altar of Dementia will be a great sack outlet for creatures and will help mill cards into our graveyard. We're also using lots of card selection with spells like Commune with the Gods, which will help us keep our hands full of gas and our graveyard full of options. We want to be sure to have tons of mana since our commander's ability costs 7 to activate, so we're running a ton of ramp including Zendikar Resurgent to double our mana, plus Wilderness Reclamation and Seedborn Muse to help us activate these abilities multiple times per turn. Other than creature spells, we also have ways to create spider tokens, the most powerful of which is definitely Arachnogenesis. This spell can come out of nowhere, act as a one-sided fog, and if you time it correctly, can even be used to end the game. My favorite piece of tech in this particular brew has to be Nim Deathmantle with our commander and Ashnod's Altar. Since our commander creates us tokens when it enters the battlefield, we can sacrifice it to Ashnod's Altar for 2 colorless mana, pay 2 more, and return it to the battlefield with Nim Deathmantle's triggered ability. If we do this a few times just before our turn, we'll create a ton of tokens and then activate Ishkanah's ability to take someone out. There are definitely more tricks and turns to be had in this deck, so if you want to see more, be sure to follow the link in the description and vote for Ishkanah Graph Widow as our commander for the Mystery Bowl. Cheers!
Now that you've heard about all 3 decks, let us know which one you want to see built. There's a link in the description that will take you to a survey where you can vote for your choice. And while you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and follow all our other social media so that you can keep up to date with the Mega Bowl challenge, as well as learn on how to win these sweet, sweet decks. Also, take a moment to check out the other creators' content and give their accounts a vote for the commanders that they're going to build as well. Until the next time that we enter the Dragon's Lair, take care.